Hey guys, Dan Fitzpatrick here, stockmarketmentor.com. By the way, don't forget Monday the market's closed in honor of Martin Luther King's Day. That's a pretty important day. And so take the time to, I'm not preaching here, I'm just saying, take the time to reflect on the work of a really, really great man who sacrificed a lot to, advance equality, et cetera, et cetera. You get the drift. What I'm saying is it's really a cool day. And that's all I have to say about that. Now, with all of that said, man, I really like the way digital world is trading here, like right in, I'll just tell you, right in this area here. Because, and I know I've featured this, you guys should be already all over this because I've already talked about this in a Fits in 5, a chart of the day video. Some of our members were on this a heck of a lot earlier than I was, and big. But here's what I'm saying. As I've mentioned before, this is kind of technically in a volatility squeeze, even though the bands were pretty tight, just relative to the way the whole stock has been trading. This was a pretty tight squeeze. The first idea that you got that this trade was real was right here. Forget about this. I'm talking about the volume. Low volume pullback. I mean, you could literally craft a trade just based on the volume characteristics if we just did it this way. Green and red, green good, red bad, green up, red down. You would go, okay, wow, nice big buying spurt here when the stock went up. Okay, then the stock came down, but it was on less volume, still high, but less volume. So man, this was a big day. And then the following day, the volume bar comes back up, and guess what? It's green. And you go, oh my gosh, twin skyscrapers here. We got a green one and then a little red one and another green one up here. So a couple of big skyscrapers here with a little red one stuck in between. Something good is going on. And then the next day, you're going like, holy crap. This thing had been trading way down here in volume, maybe a couple million shares a day, I don't know, down there, but it had been trading at real low volume, and suddenly things have got really, really sporty here, so what the heck is going on with the volume? So we got another big day here, and you're looking at this going, okay, crap, 3 out of 4 days, and this was a massive volume day. I don't know what the price was doing yet, but with this kind of volume, that had to be one hell of a move. And then the following day, OMG, even more volume, probably, I don't know, 17 million or something. And I thought this was real big back here at 11 million. And where were we back here? So, man, there's mark this word, institutional. This is institutional buying. This buying a 67, $70 a share stock at 15, 16, 17 million. Billy Bob and Jethro don't do that. This is like Goldman Sachs and whatever criminal enterprise is doing this now. So you've got these massive volume spikes, 4 out of 5 times, big volume spike here. I wonder what that's all about. Seems to me, we got this low volume here, so we got these big, massive volume spikes here, so the stock had to be going up. This was a pretty big volume spike, too, relative to this is the highest volume spike other than these 2 big days. So I'll bet that was kind of probably a pretty big pullback. And then this following day, which is today, I'm looking at this saying, okay, so this was a big pullback. Volume's still pretty high here, certainly not as high as these prior 2 days. So, after this big pullback like this on this kind of volume, I'll bet that was a really weak bounce. I got to be really careful about this because this is the one that concerns me. This right here, after this after the big move down. It's high volume. Boy, I'll bet that was a real doozy down. And then that leads to, yes, a high volume rebound, but pretty weak buying overall. So anyway, so that's the way I would look at the volume. That's how I'm just interpreting the volume without any price. Now, let's look and see what is happening if we look at the price in the context of volume. You go, huh, okay, interesting. This puts a little color on it. All of this stuff, fine, got it. Just like I had anticipated. This one, however, a little gap down, and then it closed. What was this? Okay, this closed, 5% lower. We'll say 5% lower. But it printed a higher high and a higher low. And so I'll say like, well, crap, I was just looking at this volume. I figured this was a massive sell-off on that kind of volume. Now I'm looking at this. Now I'm looking at this thing and I'm seeing like, oh my God, this was it? 5% sell-off after what kind of move since we started on this day? Opening day here. We got 42% into Wednesday, and then at the high of the day on Thursday, we're up almost 50%, and all we get is a little goofy 5% pullback. That's a rounding error. And so suddenly you're looking at this saying, okay, what seemed like a pretty bad day on the price when you look at the volume turns out like, no, this was not a bad day at all. So suddenly this potential bearish move is actually very bullish. That's the point. It's actually very bullish. You're going through your analysis, you're studying your pattern, you're studying the volume, and what you would think would be a bad day for prices turns out to be a 5% pullback from a stock that's gone up like 50%. Whatever. And then today, we got a little tiny gap down where I loaded up a little bit more, and we got a close where 71 was the last. That was the closing price. The high was 72.45. That's what you call a high closing location value. So I've walked you through this move where the institutions are obviously sucking up this stock. Lots of institutions buying this. I mean, you look at back here on, in late December, it was 6.2 million, 2.2 million on that particular day. 2.2 million shares traded back here. Now we've got on the high days, we've got 16.6 million. So volume's definitely picking up. And when you see this type of move, when you see the volume picking up like this, what that should tell you is institutions are in this stock. That's all it should tell you. Institutions are in this stock. If the price is going down and volume is picking up, institutions are getting out of this stock. It's actually pretty simplistic. And so that leads me to the payoff here. We got a nice breakout here. That's my, I have a phase 1, 2, 3 way to look at these. And so phase 1, you could say, okay, well, crap, the phase 1 of a 3-phase move is this first move here. And then we got a pullback, a little correction. That's phase 2. And then the very next day, we start phase 3. OMG, this is unbelievable. That's awesome. But wait, there's more. Because we can look at it a little bit further down the line and say, well, wait a minute. This is actually phase 1. It goes up for 3 days. Phase 2, just like it was here, is just one little goofy down day of 5%. And now this looks like we're heading into phase 3. Okay, fine. So this is what I'm telling you. Have $100 as your price target, and I think you're good. Yeah, that's right. To quote Mark Levin, that's right. I said it. $100 is what I'm looking for. Free for you, baby. See you Tuesday.